Are you a bougie boy like me? You drive a Tesla, a Model 3 to be budget friendly, but you also like the little things, like the screen that tilts and the heads-up display and all the fun stuff. But you need more bougie. Well, I'll tell you what, right up here, something I absolutely love is this magnetic sunshade. But that's not bougie. I gotta come up here, I gotta pop that out, and now it's on my face, and it's big, and I gotta, oh geez, I gotta fold it up. That's not bougie. What is bougie is what I'm about to show you. It's electric. Boogie, boogie, boogie. It seems I just got a package from Hansshow. So we got ourselves a nice gigantic box in the mail today, and I know exactly what it is. So our amazing electric sunshade. This is like the best you could get. This is like super bougie. We've got apparently intelligent voice. So maybe you can control this with your voice. I didn't even know that. Of course, the electronic control, so you got buttons and whatnot. This is gonna be so bougie. Let's get this apart. Let's see what's in the box. Okay, so we open this bad boy up, and it actually looks pretty simple. There's not a whole lot in here. It looks like there's both the shades and maybe some little things over there. So let's clear this up. So I'm gonna keep all of that stuff in the packaging just so I don't, smudge it up with my hands and everything, because that's gonna be part of your headliner, and it is kind of a light color, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But this is all the stuff that comes with it. It does come with gloves, so I suggest doing that just so you don't get fingerprints, or like if your hands get dirty or something, you're gonna put fingerprints all over that. Wiring harness, looks like some sort of weather strip there. You've got two different types here. You got a big one and a small one. These look like the little clips, kind of like what I have in there already with the magnetized one. Two different types of screws. We got two different types of these brackets. Screwdriver, looks like a trim removal, some electrical tape, and this, it looks like, is for the voice control, which is crazy that it has this, but you've got a list of different commands and what it'll do. All right, so let's get right into this. I already removed my old sunshade, so we are bare bones now, getting ready for the nice bougie electric sunshade. So on the right-hand side of the car, we're gonna come over here and we're going to peel back this weather stripping, which is pretty easy. Once you get your fingers under there, you just kind of pull, and that's it. That's super simple. It's just being held together by right here. It's just kind of like a little C that hugs onto it, and that's it. You don't have to take off the whole thing. You just have to kind of pop this out so we can feed the wires through. And once we're all done, it's gonna look like this. So this part right here, I just kept attached because this whole thing, and then also up here in this corner, just keep that attached. But everything else is nice and loose. Same thing with right here. This one's also attached. We're just loosening everything up so we can see where we want our wires to go. Moving right along, let's go ahead and take this seat out. So all you gotta do is reach your hand between the seat and the carpet, run your finger along until you hit a little plastic nub, which looks like that, but you'll feel it, and then you just move over and up. You just push up on the seat. You can see all it is just a little lever that you just push to the left. We'll do the same on the other side, and this whole seat will come up. And once you get both of those, the seat comes up, you kind of scoot it out just a little bit, not too far, because we're over here on the left-hand side of the car, and we have got the wires that are connecting to this, so for your heated seats here in the back. So we're gonna take these apart. Now, technically, you don't have to. You can just kind of move this out of the way and get in here, but we're gonna make this nice and easy for you guys to see. So we're gonna disconnect this one and this one, which should give us these free wires, and then we'll take this back seat out. We have got the back seat out. Now, this black piece of foam, we're just gonna move that off to the side, and boom, we've got our battery terminals over here. So positive and negative. All we gotta do is connect our harness, which I have right here, draped over. So the one that goes up in the roof is gonna have these two connectors. The part that goes down there and connects to that are gonna have these two connectors. So we're going to first fish these underneath here, which shouldn't be too hard. You see there's already wires that are being fished under here. Yeah, there's a huge gap under here. This is incredibly easy to just place these under here. You can already see them, they're already fished through. This is not a tight gap. So all we got to do is loosen these two nuts. These are 13. So I've got that one loose and I've got that one loose. Just a quick little pop of a 13. The red one is going to go on the positive and the blue one is going to go on the negative. We're just going to slide it underneath, get a little bit more room, slide it underneath that nut, and then tighten the nut back down. Just that simple. Also, a little bit of information is when you route these wires, so the positive and the negative, route them this way. So they're gonna come under here. You can easily just grab this and pop it up. There's nothing holding it in but clips. Route it this way. We want the shortest amount because I was originally routing it like over here. That's a lot of extra, and you want as much extra slack as you can because this is very, 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 very short. So route it basically direct path up to here so we can have room. And once those are tightened up, we're just gonna put this stuff away. So we're gonna pop that bad boy back on there, throw the seat back on if you'd like, but I'm just gonna wait for the seat. So this is routed underneath this plastic, and then we're gonna continue. We're gonna route it all the way up here, up to basically right up here at the top, so we can go through this middle pillar of the car, which is gonna be somewhere around here. So I'm able to get the cables all the way up here. So everything's routed as it should be. These two are exactly the same. And what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to come up here. One cable needs to come on this side of the glass and the other cable needs to come on this side. So one in the front, one in the back. The difficult part is trying to route this up through here where you barely have any room and then have it come out basically like you have no clearance here. So first things first, how am I gonna route it up there? I guess these used to come with a fishing, whatever it's called, but I got a zip tie. You can see up there, that's where I want my first one. So I routed that down, comes down here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to attach this onto this and then tape it down so it's really well taped. And I'm gonna fish it up until I get up to here and I can feel it get stuck because it's gonna get stuck because it's so thin. And then I'll grab the pry tool and push down just enough to get the head of that through, I guess, the gap. So maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. All right, it actually wasn't too bad. So I got this little included tool with a nice little hook at the end to get right in between here. I had to start over here where there's a good gap. And then you get the hook in there and twist it so it is in this position and you just pull down. And when you pull down on it, it'll give you a really good opening. So you just kind of pull on it, open up, and then once I pulled my zip tie all the way up to the end and it kind of stopped, I knew we were at the end, moved this down, finagled it a little bit, and boop, popped right out. So I now have this guy. Let's get this out of the way. I've got this guy where I want him. And next up is this one, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put my zip tie down here, route it, find it coming through outside of here, tape it, pull it through, and then we'll have a wire on the driver's or the passenger side, and then on the rear. So I was able to get it through. You can see here's my zip tie right above the hook in the back. Looks like it's a little bit to the left of that hook. Went down, was able to get it through here, and then we've got it nice and tight. Let's see if I can pass it all the way through up here. It looks like most people put both up here and then route it through the middle. I'm gonna try it this way. If it doesn't work, we're doing that way. So I was able to get it through, but pretty much all around here, there's no good place to pull down. Like this is solid. Once you get further towards the middle, you get a little bit more flex. You can move it out to actually get this through. We have these routed how we need to route them. Now, the hard part's over. Now we just get the beautiful electronic sunshade in here. So just grabbed the front sunshade and put it in just like how it's supposed to be before it comes straight up. So front sunshade, you can see we've got two wires. We've got the really, really long one and then the short one. So we shouldn't have any issues with the short one. The long one should be no problem plugging it. This one, I believe, plugs into the rear sunshade, and that one plugs into the same type of connector, which is this one that we already have passed through. So, time to get this up and in place. These little brackets are right here. There's 2 on either side. Those are gonna slide up, and these little felt pieces are gonna go up against the glass. So that's the first point of contact that we're gonna get. It's gonna come up, and then we're gonna slide it back into this little groove up here between the glass and that center pillar. So I'm here in the back seat. I have it all mocked up. I've got this being held up by the sun visors and whatnot, just trying to figure out how this thing goes. And something that's not in any of the instructions on anything is this black cable right here. Now this ties the front to the back. I'm guessing if you want to open them both at the same time or close them both at the same time, but this is not needed to work either or. I don't know how, because I haven't played with it yet, I don't know how to work them both at the same time, but that's what this does. This connects the front to the back. So it's not necessary. You can just tuck it in here and never use it again and be happy and slappy. Or if you do want them to open and close at the same time, AKA I don't know how yet, but this needs to go through the middle because this is your front one and it's connecting to the back. So we have to fish it underneath here to pop out here. So there's more fishing. That's like the hardest part of this job is just routing cables. These stupid little cables. I got that one plugged in though. Power. So the front works. Now we, let's do this. Okay, that was not easy. I was finally able to get this one through. So you guys don't take as long as I did. The inside of this pillar is super, super padded. So what you have to do is pull this down as much as you can. I got my fingers under here and it's basically like a U of padding. And you have to go under and pass the head of this just under a little narrow way, which is right here in the center. Once you pass it through, on the other side, you can do the same thing. Push this down, get your fingers down there and grab that and push it through. If you have a better version of a snake, I only have a zip tie, that would probably be helpful, but you do have to route it down and across. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. But like I said, this is not, it's not necessary. This is an optional little bit. Now that we are back in the front seat and I really just have this thing being held up by hopes and dreams. But I've got everything, the wire, the power, and I've got the other bit passed through to the other side. So it's just 2 wires. One's getting you power, the other one is the connector optional. So once we have that, we're just gonna real quick grab these 2 and they're gonna be flipped this, or wrong way. They're gonna be flipped like this. So again, padded side is up towards the glass always. And we're just gonna pop that up there and it's gonna look like that. We'll grab the other one, pop it there. It doesn't have to be perfect, just gotta be up there somewhere. But once you get this in place and you kind of get it aligned up, you can see there's a hole there. So to get it more aligned, we'll go ahead and put that one there. Switch over here. I can only see this on my phone, which is a good little trick. Oh, that's a tougher one. That's a lot snugger. But we will get that there approximately. You can always move it afterwards. But once we have those in place, we can start with the rear because it has those little metal hooks right there. And then again on the other side, we'll get those same place as the front ones between the glass and that middle piece. And it looks like we got a decent amount of wires, but we shouldn't have any issues with that pinching. So first up, we're gonna slide these back little metal brackets up there. So the hard part now is to get this back piece, push it in so those little nubs go underneath here. And at the same time, up front, we're gonna get these to line up so the rail goes behind this little piece. But once you get it into place, these are the 2 screws you're gonna need. These are the rounded screws. These are gonna go right up in here, through this, and then into the threaded hole. And once you get those screws tightened up, and right back here, everything's in place. The front is done. So I got these put back into place. Everything blends together. I would say the one thing I don't like is when you press this, you can tell that there's nothing behind it. They should probably put some sort of support here so it doesn't feel so flimsy, but everything else, like nice and tight back here. This is the only place, but let's go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. Look at that. Perfection. Open it up. All right, now we need to get the rear sunshade. And before, with the front, we just threw it in there totally fine. But with this one, this top part actually needs to come off. So it's Velcroed on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it so it looks something like this. And we're gonna go around the edges, and you can hear it. We're gonna go around the edges and take off the Velcro. That one just came off. And there's Velcro pads. Just be careful when you're doing this. Don't yank on it, because I have heard that these things bend and rip and whatnot. So I'm just gonna go until I find another piece, and then slowly make my way around. And we're going, like I said, we're gonna detach this from this all the way around. And after taking that off, I definitely see what they mean. The adhesive, especially on this row here, is not as strong as the Velcro. So when you're trying to take the Velcro off, this is gonna stick, but it's just gonna peel this part of the Velcro off this metal. So it's not that bad. If you do have your own Velcro, maybe something a little bit stronger strength. I just, some of these kind of came out. If I pushed it down here and continued to pull up on the other end, that worked. But if it does come off, just stick it back on. I think all of these are decently adhered on here. Just a few of these, like this row, is not. So pressing these back down, making sure they're good. But now we have these separated. So we're gonna mount this first, and then once we're done, we'll put this on and just Velcro in. All right, now we are in the back seat, and you can see that I've got the frame of the rear one back here. So this is just sitting here without that Velcroed, like this colored piece on there. I've got it set in here exactly how it's gonna go in. I just have to go up, and you can see the Velcro is on the right side. Now, before we put it up, we need to put in these pieces. Now there's two different types. There is a small one, and there is a big one. So if you compare them side by side, there's two bigs and two smalls. The larger ones go up front, so they're gonna go here on both sides and behind me, and the smaller ones are gonna go over here on both sides. And it's pretty simple. You just get the big boy. You can see that there's a groove right there. That's exactly where it's going to snap into place, the edge of this trim. So smooth side is gonna go towards the glass. And yeah, that's it's pretty simple. Now we're gonna have to slide these around because I don't know exactly where they're gonna go, but this side is gonna be up, the felt on the window, and then we're gonna come in here and just push. If it doesn't want to immediately snap in, like this one, I guess is a good example, what you can do is you can get your upholstery little puller. You can grab under here and push down so we can get a little bit more gap so we can get this one clicked into place. And once you get them in, they're gonna look like this. They're nice and snug both ways, but you can also slide them. So that's kind of the key point. We're gonna put the big one here and the small one over here, and then we'll slide them once we get this whole thing mounted up here. And before you start putting anything up, make sure you have the second set of screws, so the ones that look like this, already ready to go, because once we put this up, these are gonna go into the holes up there to get this thing, I guess, anchored in. Now we're gonna connect the two connectors right here. Now it's a little tight, but I've got it resting on the seat. Once those two are connected, this one is just gonna have to stay free now, for now, because we need the other piece up here that has the button that looks like that in the front, and that's what that connects to in the back. So we're gonna leave that one. Now, same thing up front. We get these little brackets, slide them up in here on both sides. Make sure we don't smash any of these wires while the process So the only one looks like we'll just have to make sure this doesn't get in the way. Easy enough, we'll just go behind it. And then we can line up these. Whew, okay, that was a little difficult-er than I thought it was gonna be. So putting this thing up, you need to get these two clips here all the way inside. And this one did not want to go underneath. Now there's a little, I guess, a little nub in the way, so once it goes in, it kind of locks itself in. But trying to get to that point is very, very difficult. So what I ended up doing is I had a trim piece removal tool. So I went up here and I grabbed the top of that trim and pulled it down so I could put it in. So this is turning out to be a lot more difficult, even though it's quite simple. Also, another thing I just figured out. Yeah, you can't use these anymore. They're kind of black. Womp womp. But now that those are in, now we can get these screws in. So we're going to push this forward and up as far as it goes. So make sure it's nice and snug. Then you're gonna look up here. And what we're gonna do is we're going to line it up so that hole is visible through here. If it's way over here, then you'll have to slide it to get it up here in the little slot. And it's adjustable because it is a slot. So pretty simple. All right, looking good. I've got them screwed into place. You can see I've got one right there and the other one right back here. It just pops up after this little defroster hub nub looking thing. So pop it back there. I had it like way up here, but I've got both sides done. Everything's in place. Everything's nice and forward and snug. So now we'll just grab the Velcro piece and put it up here and we're done. Besides plugging this part in, but that's part of the next piece. All right, got it back here. It is just kind of sitting on my lap right now. So Velcro, going to Velcro, but first I'm gonna lift it up, plug this into the little button controller, and then just stick it up there. It's Velcro. Now that I have the rear installed, it looks beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rear seat installed. I just got the trim back in place. I had everything open just in case I needed to move stuff around, and good thing I did, because I did need to give some more slack, like I said, for that, the one that connects to the terminals. So I got that closed up. Now you just have to feed the seat belts through the holes, and of course, don't forget about your little heated seats in the back. All right, we are all finished. Take a look at that. It looks like factory. It's the same color. It looks beautifully integrated. Was definitely a bit of a pain in the butt to get going, to get installed, but we got it done. Let's go ahead and try the voice command. Hello, TT.
I am here.
Close Sunshade.
Close.
Wow. That's really creepishly responsive. Hello, TT.
I am here.
Close rear sunshade.
Close.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the life. So, it's beautiful. It's perfect. It was a pain in the butt to install. The last thing that I need to do is the thing over here. This is meant to be stuck on the inside. I believe it's meant to be stuck up here, and it's to cancel out any sort of extra light. So you take this and you glue it up in here. So we'll take a look. Let's open this up. It's actually pretty fast. I like that.
Let me know if you need me.
Oh, okay then. A little weird. I guess that's it going to sleep. But up in here, I think it glues back here. Something like that to block out the little sun that leaks through. I'm gonna see if I can get a good view of this, but yeah, I was right. When you look up here, oh, it's perfect with the phone. You can see there's a gap right up in here. So that's what we'll do. We'll open this up and then we'll grab this 3M sticky and then we'll stick it right back here and get a nice seal. Just finished install. Nice. Much better. All right, all finished, and I do have to say it is
beautiful. It's bougie, it's gorgeous, it's amazing, but I do have a little bit of criticisms. As you know, right up here, it's kind of flimsy there. The second thing that I have, you no longer get the function of the rear hooks in the back seats. Now, I don't usually use that. I don't think a lot of people do, but my dog protection thing in the back uses those hooks, and now I can't use them. They're gone. And the third thing I would say is the instructions are, well, not there. So you guys have me for the instructions, so that's good, but I didn't have any real good instructions. Even the videos that other people put, they kind of glossed over some stuff and didn't put some things in. I also wanted to add, now that everything is done, if you're doing this yourself or even with another person, be very, very, very careful when you put the stuff on the inside. So the frame in the front and the frame in the back, if you can, wrap up the ends. So in the back, it has those two little prongs. Wrap those ends up because the ends are sharp. Same thing with the front. The prongs that go in the back that hook up. So the first things that you do when you hook up this one, and the same thing with the back one, those metal hooks that go in between, same thing. Like if you can, up until the moment you're going to put it in, put some sort of padding or something. And also pay very close attention when you are putting it in, because if you're just a little off and you have like the gap, so you have the window up here and then the felt headliner here, and you don't get it directly in the middle, even if it's a real small gap, and you get below and you get the car's headliner, you can easily rip a hole. You can easily rip the fabric. Just be very, very, very careful, because this stuff is not rounded off. It's not padded. You got the felt stuff for the glass, which is great, but it can be really bad. I definitely scratched some parts. You can't see it when everything's up here, but if I do decide to take this stuff off, I'm going to have some scratches up there, and it really sucks that is the way it is. So keep that in mind. Be very mindful. That's the great thing about this video. You can learn from my mistakes so it doesn't happen to you. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this, because I'm going to enjoy it. This is so cool. It's so much better than the magnetic sunshades that I had on here. I don't have to put them anywhere. They just roll up. It's amazing. So I recommend it. Hansshow, of course, always makes some of the greatest stuff and the most innovative stuff for the Teslas. So check them out. I'll have it linked below for this stuff, and I guess if you want their other stuff too. So I'll see you guys in the next video.